Waking up with you for the thousandth time. Sipping coffee and juice, reading the New York Times. Yeah. You told me I'm the only one, but now you think you've had your fun. You hope I had a good time. Goodbye, we're done. I got you inside my head, playing every moment over and over again. I thought we'd survive instead. You're a heartbreaker and I'm heartbroken. Waking up with him before the sun. We pour coffee and then read the Chicago Sun. Yeah. He tells me that I've changed his life, and now he wants me as his wife. Well, we had a good run, was fun, goodbye. I still got you inside my head, playing every moment over and over again. I thought we'd survive instead. You're making heartbreakers of the heartbroken. You're making her.
Yo!
I don't know what was that look for, Patrick?
I don't see the count. I don't see the countdown. I didn't see the countdown.
I don't know.
All right.
Everyone else could see it except for when it went black, which was yeah. Sorry about that. So what happened is because I was switching headsets, and it was like tangled, and so I tugged, and then like the Go XLR went like reset power, and then that killed all the audio. I'm like, and I couldn't get it back, so I had to reboot. So, my bad.
It's all you, my friend. It's all you.
Yes, it was all me. How is everyone's Saturday? I hope everyone is well. Welcome to the live stream. Living the dream as always. Welcome everyone. Good to see everyone. Let's get it started. If you are new to Guy in a Cube or the live stream in general, put hashtag new in the chat. We love seeing all the new faces, and hopefully this, I apologize if this was your first experience of the live stream with technical difficulties from yours truly. It's just another day in paradise, Patrick. Just another day in paradise. So also shout out to all the members of Guy in a Cube. We appreciate what you do here on the channel. You help support what we do. We definitely appreciate it. So for those not aware of the folks with the green names or the Guy in a Cube icons next to them, those are members of Guy in a Cube. So huge shout out to all of you. If you check out the link on the screen or check out the join button down below, you can learn more. No commitments required. Just thank you and great appreciation for all of that. Members, hold your questions until Chatmaster C gives you the go ahead, and then we will get it started. So let's see. Hashtag news. There's a Miguel Martinez. I don't think it's the Miguel Martinez that we know. I was like, wait, is that like, is he trolling? No, that's a different Miguel Martinez. So welcome, Miguel. Nicola's new. Thiancy? I hope I pronounced that right. Thomas. New. Look at the icon. Oh, that's funny. Dissolved 88 is new. Let's see here. Who else is new? Jaya Deepak. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Becca is new-ish. Awesome. Let's see. Any others we got here? Crush Cash is new. Welcome. Jacob's new. Welcome, everyone. Glad you are here. Glad you're taking the time out of your morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it may be, to just spend time with us and learn about Power BI together. We appreciate you. All right, questions, please. And is it? Nah, never mind. For questions, please put a Q colon in front of the question. We will get them queued up. You only have to submit it one time. Chatmaster C is standing by, and we'll queue that up. And we get through as many questions as we can. We never get through all of them. So if we didn't get to it, come back next time and we'll try it again. So get in early and we will get to what we can there. Please do not spam your question. We have a 3 strikes rule here on Guy in a Cube. If you do it 3 times, we will put you in a timeout. So be sure to be careful of that. So Chatmaster C and the moderators of Guy in a Cube have that power. So anyone with a blue name or the wrench next to their name, they have the power to put you in a timeout if you are unruly or spammy. So please don't do that. Alrighty. Anything I missed, Patrick?
Nope. Pretty efficient, my friend.
Right,
pretty efficient.
Cool. All right. So I see Greg Phillips as the first question. And it's a 3-parter. So here we go, Patrick. So I have a separate data set, Power BI Desktop, published to the service. It's premium. And I'm creating a separate report using the Power BI data set. Okay, so we're live connecting. Good to go. Yep. That makes sense. I'm getting an error, however, when trying to add a value to a text box in the PBIX where the message shows to turn on Q&A, we need to create a local index. Interesting.
I'm connected.
All right. Okay. And then this is the third part. Hang on.
All right.
Is this because the data set in the service does not have Q&A turned on? Is there a delay? And if so, how long? Is admin access required? So basically what the French toast is going on, Patrick.
So wait, before we head over, right? I just live connected to your data set. You have an AdventureWorks, a certified AdventureWorks data set that you put out in the service and on our Guy in a Cube tenant, right? I don't know if you have Q&A turned on. I have no idea, but I live connected to it. Okay. And let me show you. Head over to my machine.
Did you just say heard over?
Head over to my laptop.
Okay. All right. I heard you.
So down at the bottom here, you can see I'm live connected to this AdventureWorks data set. Yep. It's your certified data set.
Sure.
And when he says a text box, I'm assuming that he is using, the smart narratives feature or the ability to do Q&A inside of the text box, right? And so if I go total sales, I type total sales amount, and I know you're going to say this is too small, but I'll zoom in just a little bit. And then when I click value right here, I type in, right? I'm assuming this is where he's saying he's typing this question. Okay.
That makes sense.
So I put in my measure, total sales. There we go. And click save. And I don't get the error that he's getting. It just works. and but I'm not sure.
You just,
Do you hear that noise?
I do.
You
That's
hear
your
that noise?
garage, isn't it?
Yeah, that's my garage going
All
out. But I don't know why. I mean, I don't know why I can't reproduce it. So maybe I'm missing a step.
All right. So Greg said, yeah, that's what he's doing.
I'm not sure, Greg. Let's check one more thing. We can move on, Greg. I'm gonna go check in the service to see if the data set has Q&A enabled. I'm sure I'm an administrator of that workspace.
Should be.
I'm sure I'm an administrator of the workspace.
Yeah, you are.
But I'll check my permissions and everything and see if there's anything, and then I'll
I
come
don't know
back.
why you
But it
assume
works
those
here.
things. I don't know why you assume I give you privileges like that on our
Yeah, we'll find out here in just a
sensitive data that is AdventureWorks.
little bit. We'll find out here.
All right. All right. Awesome. All right. Cool. All right. Next.
Wait, but there's something else. So at the bottom of my shirt, it just says what time. So I was like, that's a horrible idea. So this is typically Adam and Patrick. This is what happens with Adam and Patrick.
Wait. Show the shirt. Show the shirt. Pull it.
So
Well, don't
Adam
pull
will
it up
go-
all the way, but yeah.
I won't.
Yeah.
Adam will go, let's go do something. And I'll go, that's a horrible idea. I said, Adam, that's a horrible idea. But then I'll say, what time?
Gosh.
What time are we going? So anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, all right. There you go.
Now I can just.
So-
I'm surprised Chatmaster C is not sending me a message privately, going like what?
There's nothing enabled on this data set, man. There's nothing special about this data set you got going.
What do you mean? There's nothing special? It's AdventureWorks.
But I mean,
Very special.
like permissions, settings, there's nothing.
Ramesh says smile on my face, like that.
Q&A.
Chatmaster C said, "I'm not surprised.
You know
full.
what?
You're
It
full of
is.
bad ideas."
It is turned on. Turn on Q&A, ask natural language questions. I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna turn Q&A off. Okay, and then I'm gonna reconnect and try again. So we'll come back to this later. Go ahead, Adam.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Let's go. Let's see. Miguel Martinez. All right. The other Miguel. Is there a way to generate PowerPoint presentations from a Power BI report so that the slides will go through a set of slicers you have set up? Each PowerPoint slide is based off a slicer selection. Okay, so let me because I don't know that Alex is in the chat this morning. He had some family stuff going on. So let me pull up an item here. The short answer to your question is no. Well, not automatically. You could do it manually and take some screenshots and paste it in, but I don't think that's what you want. Let me pull up real quick. Let's see. There is a PowerPoint update. Why am I not seeing it? Integration with PowerPoint. There we go. All right, let me head over to my machine. All right, so there is an update in the release plan for some upcoming updates to PowerPoint. So the idea, it's just talking about enabling Power BI inside of PowerPoint itself. So this will give you some more flexibility for what you can do inside of PowerPoint once that's available. I still don't think it's going to give you what you're specifically asking for, Miguel, in terms of having each slide set up as a slicer. So that's and I honestly don't know what the actual feature itself is going to be. I haven't seen it, but what I would imagine is possibly the report page or maybe even a visual just embedded in the PowerPoint. Patrick, you have something?
Could we try a paginated report for that?
For what?
And do a page break for each item, and then it will produce a page with that filtered that way.
How do you get it into PowerPoint? How do you get it into PowerPoint?
I can't export a paginated to PowerPoint?
Can you? I didn't think you could.
Oh, my bad. I just thought you could.
No, so today you can export a regular Power BI report to paginated, but or to Power BI, sorry, too many powers, holy cow, to PowerPoint. But what that does is it basically is just each slide is a page in the report and it's a static image. And so Miguel, if that's what you want, you could set that up. But again, I don't think that's what you want. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. I think you can do that.
Matthew. PPT and PDF are pretty close.
Oh my God, Finland is okay. I said it, Fizz.
Is Chris in the chat? I didn't see him.
He texted Chris. Yes, I got you, Chris. I was thinking about paginated, my friend. I was thinking about it.
Oh, there he is. What? Can you do PowerPoint with paginated?
Yes.
Can you export it?
Okay.
What does it look like?
Whiteboard.
What does it look like?
I gotta look. Now, I'm gonna do it. Because basically, so what he's saying. Go back to his question. Do you mind going back to his question?
No, not
so. No, not Matthews.
I know.
Always got these funny little. He hates you.
He doesn't hate me. He doesn't hate me.
He hates you. He hates you.
We had a great conversation yesterday. It was fine.
So let's say I have a slicer with 4 values in it, right? And each there's red, yellow, orange, green, purple.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I want
you could do page break on each one.
Yeah.
That's not what he wants, though.
He said he wanted a page for each one.
Yeah, but what I'm interpreting that question to say, Miguel, just say that I'm right, to please Chris a little bit, is he wants it to be interactive with inside of PowerPoint. Miguel, just say I'm right. It's fine. He said yes. Okay. Miguel said yes.
All right. Yeah.
I'm assuming he's saying yes to me, and not to Chris.
Yeah.
So
can we go back to the previous question?
He said I'm
Q&A?
right. Excellent. I love that. Doesn't even matter. We could end the stream right now. I was right.
Adam is right. Adam is right. He's saying it. He's saying Adam is right.
Love it. Oh, you're awesome, Miguel. All right, you want to go back to your machine?
No,
all right,
we don't have to.
So Miguel, though, stay tuned. Check out the link that I put for the PowerPoint update that's coming. So that will maybe get you closer to what you're looking for. So it says public preview in January. So stay on the lookout for that.
I've seen it. I've seen it. It's great. It's
I have
phenomenal.
Not seen it.
Well, you can set filters. You can do lots of different things. It's gonna be great.
All right. So real quick though, I want to highlight because I think this is a good learning opportunity. Where was Matthew's thing? All right, and we're gonna riff on this a little bit. All right, so Matthew put out a thing saying, "Hey, there's documented saying that you can, indeed export to PPTX," and Chris is saying that he hates me because I didn't know it. It's okay if you don't know everything. Just take that. If you're in the chat, just walk away, just knowing nobody knows everything. It's okay, right? It's been a long time since I've really, really worked on paginated. I know some of the things. I know more about the admin and stuff. The actual report stuff.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I'll do Kerberos all day long. It's fine, right? It's like Kerberos. It just works. Exactly.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
So it's okay if you don't know everything. It's fine because we've got other folks. Like Chris is there in the chat. Patrick's there. He's checking out. We'll get it figured out. We'll get it figured out. Yes. But Miguel said I was right. I just want to end with that point. So, all right. That's enough.
Back to the first question. When I turned Q&A off, didn't work.
No joy.
So I went into the settings of the data set. There's a checkbox that you can check, and it didn't work. So you need to go turn that on.
Nice.
Yep.
Yes, and Matthew.
yeah, Matthew.
Chris will hate you equally. Yes. We love Chris, though. We love Chris. Chris is cool.
Yeah.
And Paw Beater, I did see your tweet getting charticulated at work. I still don't understand the visual, but if it got what you needed, awesome. Love it.
But there's another thing that Phil showed me also that he said it's a little. Remember, I was showing it to you. You can use a visual to create a visual, kind of like Articulator.
Yeah, I forget what it was called.
I forget what it's called.
I don't remember.
Yep.
All right.
You're welcome,
Greg.
You're welcome, Greg.
So Greg, on that, you'll have to enable the Q&A on the base data. Whoever owns that data set needs to enable Q&A.
Yeah.
So.
And because you know what? Can you show my machine? Because I want to show him. I want to show him something. Do you mind showing my machine?
There you go.
So if you look at the data set, look what it says right there, right? If Q&A is turned on, we will create an index of your data in the service. And I think that goes to the message, hey, we need to create an index that he was getting in the desktop. Mm-hmm. I think he said it in part 2 of his question.
Yep. Yep. Well, because he said he was getting that error.
Yep.
Yes. All right. Okay. Excellent. Ooh. What a morning. What a morning.
Just know you're hated, Adam. Just know you're hated.
No. Chris loves me. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
We're gonna go buy a zoo together. He gets the
Buy a
reference.
zoo. Did you find a good mojito recipe, Patrick? I did. Just on Food Network. I need to go buy some light rum. I did find one. I did.
All right.
I did.
All right. Here we go. Sohail. Apologies for that. Is it possible to return a single measure to have a data type using calculation group with matrix table visual? Example, sales, whole, no average, and then sales, no sales margin.
Oh. He wants to change the formatting. He wants to do dynamic formatting in the calc group. I think you can, can't you?
Yes. On the individual items, I think you can do the formatting.
Well, you can do currency conversion, but calculation groups, dynamic formatting. Oh, let's search. Yeah, creating dynamic format strings. SQL BI has an article.
Look at you, man. You were using Bing. I like that.
That's all I use. See? Dynamic format strings with calculation groups.
Put it in the chat.
Oh, put it in the chat.
Yes.
Boom.
There you go. Give that a try.
Yeah.
Give that a try. Search foo for the win. Right.
Oh my God, Chris Finland's back. He's back. Fun fact.
Nice. This is an intern project. Cool. I like those. The intern projects are usually pretty cool.
Did you guys see? So Miss Belinda just had a message. She said she loves Bing. I love Bing too.
Yes.
Miss Belinda. I don't use any other search engine. But did you see that Firefox is considering making Bing the default search engine?
People use Firefox?
I'm just saying, they're thinking about making Bing the default search engine.
All right. Does anyone use Firefox? Chat? Anyone using Firefox?
Hey.
All right. Let's get another question in here.
Look at Matthew's comment. Hey, Matthew, because they're going to Bing, I'm going to be number 21. Matthew.
All right, let's see here. Oh, hey, here you go, Chris. Paginator report question. If we create a paginator report using premium per user to share with... Oh, this actually isn't a paginated question. This is a licensing question. To share with other users in an automated way in PDF. Okay, what kind of license should be there in the capacity? So what do you mean by automated? Like, because if you're automating...
If I create a subscription, this is what I was thinking, Adam. If I create a subscription,
yeah,
I have a PPU license. You don't. Can I send that PDF? And I was looking. I saw that question. I was looking, on the subscriptions for paginated reports, and I don't see that as a limitation. And so I was going to ping Chris,
I want to say no.
Since he's in the chat, I'm hoping he'll respond and tell us.
I want to say no. So I know you can subscribe others, but I think they have to have the PPU license. Unless Chris, correct me if I'm wrong. But some of that was the automated because if you're doing it from a Power Automate perspective, then you get the PDF and then you can do whatever you want in Power Automate.
Well, he says you can subscribe pro users.
Okay.
I figured pro, but
all right.
But they do need at least the pro license.
At least the pro license to subscribe.
Yeah, at least the pro license. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless it's backed by because premium capacity is what gives you the ability to go to everyone. So PPU doesn't do that. Yep. Cool. Excellent. All right. Good job. All right. Aman has got a two-part question here. I'm pretty sure I've seen where I can trigger an error in Power Query. Amon, I do that all the time. So where I can trigger an error in Power Query when I go to filter a column and then click on load more. So I think like when you do the drop down on the column to see the list of items, you click on load more to get the bigger list. Then it continues and finds malformed data. Oh yeah, if you got bad data, that's not good. And then second part is, but if Power Query is entirely computing tables each time, why didn't it spawn an error when it computed this step on the query? So what he's saying is when we're in the query editor, right? So we're working with the preview of data. We click on the drop down for the column to see the list of items, hit load more, and it gives an error saying malformed data. But when we actually do like close and apply and it runs all the steps, it doesn't give that error. I think I've heard of that before, but I don't necessarily know the reasoning why that would happen. The only thing I could think of,
I don't know.
So this is me kind of thinking out loud. So when we do things like from a preview perspective, we get like a certain number of rows to try and automatically determine the data type that's being used. And so say that you had a list of numbers and then it's like, oh, this is a number format. And then you go to get load more, but then like, I don't know if it's doing that again. So where then it's like, oh, I've got a mix, so it needs to be text, but now I'm trying to combine text with a number and it says, oop, malformed data. But when you're doing it for the full combined thing, it actually hits that, so you don't actually hit the problem. So I think it may depend also on the data that's in there and what it's trying to auto detect. That's just me guessing.
He put a follow-up.
Oh, he put a follow-up?
Follow-up. Actually, it is an error. It's just not discovered until I click load more.
Or when you load into desktop. Oh, okay. Well, then it's the reverse of what I said. The reason you don't get it in the editor is because it's only doing the first set. Like it doesn't get all the rows, right? It only gets the first 1,000 rows. And so if that error is not in that first 1,000 rows, you're not going to hit it. And so the load more is forcing it to go get more, which is then when it hits it. And then, so you're saying when I do close and apply, I always hit the error because it's going to get everything. Whereas in the preview, it's only getting the first 1,000. Yeah. So that's why. Cool. All right. That makes more sense. Cool. So confused. Where am I? All right. Let's go. We got more time. Joe. Is there a way to impersonate a user when testing Analyze in Excel? No.
Maybe.
Because I know we went through a lot of this. Well, how would you?
Could not overload the connection string? No.
No, because it needs the.
I'm gonna go find out.
Okay. I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna say it depends. I'm gonna say no.
All right.
Yes.
Let's keep moving.
No, because in the connection string, because you have for Analyze in Excel, we use the OAuth user, right? So how do you impersonate that in the connection string? Because you still need to supply the OAuth token. Chris Wagner's saying yes, you can. All right. I'm gonna say no.
All right.
Prove me wrong.
No, this is a learning opportunity.
I agree.
Not about proving you wrong.
I agree.
This is a learning opportunity.
Well, unless you're Chris. Well, Chris Wagner says you have to be admin, but I don't even know how that would work.
I just want to see if
all
I
right,
can
wait,
get
Marco,
to the...
Marco made a comment here. He said,
What did he say?
You can impersonate a user if you use Analyze in Excel with Power BI Desktop. That's different because that's using Windows Auth, and then you can do something like effective username there.
That's what. So I can't.
Right, but you can't do that with the service. You can't do that with the service.
If I'm connecting directly to the data set. What if I'm doing a get data in Excel though?
All right, Chris, that's different. So Chris was, oh my gosh, my screens are getting messed up here. So Chris is saying, go to SSMS, browse the model, impersonate the user, analyze in Excel. Where's the model though, Chris? Is it in the service? Right? In the service, you can't do effective username. Yeah, not with the service. Yes. Once you go to the service, you're nope.
Yeah, I can't. Oh wait, here we go.
Chris, so I get you, Chris. What I don't understand is how that would even. So some of the challenge there is because of the authentication mechanism and how that's used. So sure, that could be maybe a backlog item, but I don't know technically. Like, I'm sure they could probably get that to work. But what's up?
When I go into the connection string properties, once I get my connection in Excel, right, I can go into the connection string properties. Couldn't I just put effective user?
For that will work with Power BI Desktop. That will not, effective username does not work with the service. Trust me. Yes. It will not work. You can try all you want.
Okay.
Paul's saying it sounds like a Power BI ideas post in the making. I'm sure it exists. Sure it exists. And yes, Matthias, I see you. All right. Cool. The answer is no. The answer is no. All right. Where did all right. Let's go. Aziz. Hey guys, I have a question about how to sum up time in Power BI. For example, so 12 10 15 minus 12 12 30 equals 0 0 0 2 45. And how to represent this on a cluster chart.
What?
Whew. You got to do it from an integer perspective.
Yep.
And then convert it.
And then convert it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just treat it like an integer.
So it's just like getting the difference between the time. Is that
actually
what he's
you
doing?
could just do that? Can you just do that with time? Because it's just an integer under the hood.
Under the covers, so it should just work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it myself, so yeah, I have to try it. But try like Pop Eater saying no. Maybe the direct time, if it's just a time on there with date, because I know you could do it with date. Can't you do it with date?
If not, just convert it to an integer.
Yeah,
and then do it with some DAX.
Yeah, date diff.
I'm gonna try it. I'll try it, man.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, there are options. You could treat it like the integer. Use date diff as an option. That'll give it to you as well. Yeah. All right. Well, that was a fast half hour. So Chatmaster C has cleared the queue. Members, feel free to get your questions in. Uh-oh. And let's see here. I don't know why that. Okay. Where's my edit thing? So members can, when we cut over, we're going to cut over to members only chat. Members can continue to participate in the chat along with moderators. Everyone else, you can still watch the stream, but you won't be able to actually participate in the chat unless you are a member. Super chats always take priority. So even if you're not a member, super chats will get you in if you have that burning question. So let's cut over to members only. Matthew, shameless plug. Join Matthew and Melissa Coates on Wednesday. He put the link in the chat, so go check that out. That is a Matthew and Melissa. That's going to be a good session.
You gotta go watch that one.
That's going to be a good session.
I think I'm going to attend that.
All right.
I'm going to attend that.
All right. So one of the benefits of being a member, if you're on the visitor tier or the producer tiers, you can pre-submit questions. We actually did have quite a few member submission questions that came in somewhat at the last minute. So we'll get those queued up for next week. And then we did have one that came in early enough where we were able to go through it. And Patrick, are you ready? Let's hope this actually works because I had to restart the box. So hopefully I saved it. Let's go with, yes, Tom. What? Oh.
Reading Matthew's
Matthew.
comment.
That was a burn. All right. So Tom had a question here. Patrick, are you ready? Focus, buddy. This is you. What is the correct way to calculate sales without a calculated column? And what is a correct optimal way to calculate the average cost such that I can compare the average cost for any combination of region, color, level, date range? And so Patrick and I were talking about this and we thought like, this is just a good example of going like just revisiting fundamentals, right? Going back to basics, right? So Patrick, do you want to, also Stewie, thank you for becoming a member. Welcome. Yeah. All right. So Patrick, what do you got?
So when we got the model, let's be honest, both of us were like, this is too easy. Wait,
Well, we thought we were
something's
missing
not right.
something. Yeah, we thought we were missing something.
Yeah. And so for the first question about, hey, how can I do this without a calculated column? Before I even answer it, I want to go back to what Matthew always says, right? Get as close to the source as possible. So if you can do what I'm doing.
Oh, wait, let's do this
source,
right. Let's do this right. And let's see if I can actually say it right. For your data transformation should be as far as upstream as possible and as far downstream as necessary.
Yes.
I think I got that right.
And so if you can take the quantity sold and multiply it by the cost as a column in your source, and then we just sum it up from that, that's ideal. But if you can't, use the iterative function. And so when I saw this, I was like, it can't be this easy. It's no way. But I mean, I wrote it up, and whoa. Here we go. I don't know why it's all pixelated like that on my screen. Oh, you're not showing my machine.
I am now. I am now.
Okay. And it's really simple. So you don't have to create this. So this would be the calculated column that you would have created. And then you would do a sum over that. But instead of doing that and persisting that to memory and definitely unnecessarily using memory, it's just an iterative function. So use sum x, give it the table name, pass the expression, and then once you do that, there's your measure. I added it to my table, and it just worked, right? It's just that simple. It's really just that simple. And Adam, I'm not sure who submitted this, but
Tom.
I will.
Tom, yeah.
Tom. Yeah. Tom, I'll send this PBIX file back to you so you can have the solution. And then with the average, because you did such a good job creating the model, here's your fact table, and then here's your dimensions, and everything's related up, going in the right direction. It was really simple. This is one of the easiest questions we've ever gotten, and I was so excited to get this question because I really like back to the basics. It's just a simple average. I just average the cost. And because you have the relationship set up the right way, as I select the different attributes from my dimensions, you'll see how everything just adjusts based on those selections. So I will absolutely send this PBIX file back to you. Thank you so much for this back to the basics, because every day someone new is starting to use Power BI, and all of us, especially, all of us here and all of us in the chat, it's like, everybody should know that. No, everybody won't know these things. And these are my favorite topics. So there you go, Adam.
Love it. Love it. Awesome.
Yep.
All right. Avenger Nerd Dad, thank you for the super chat. Nick, just hanging out, just saying, how awesome is Guy in a Cube? Your question. You're super awesome. Thank you, man. And I hope you are enjoying your new journey over at Tygraph. Look, I think I saw a picture at the company retreat, and you looked like you were having fun. So that was good. So Tom had a follow-up there. So he said, context is my main concern when comparing averages. And so context is absolutely, you need to be aware of how the filter context is applying to those calculations when you're doing things. So you should understand that. But those items will, as you're slicing and dicing, they should be applied unless you're overriding that somehow. So
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yes, it does depend. All right.
That was a good one, though, Tom.
Yes.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, interesting. Oh, so I guess Aziz was. So I still see Aziz question in the queue. We already answered that one.
Well, so Charlie, you know what? I'll add a weighted average. That's a good point. You see what Charlie's saying? I can add a weighted average. I have a weighted average DAX somewhere, Charlie. I'll add that to the PBIX file, Tom, before I send it to you. That's a good one.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
It's like.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do here. Brock got a question. When my page loads the button shapes with conditional colors, conditional colors blip as blue before turning to the conditional color. Is there any way to have a set color so they don't wig out while loading? So you can do I have me here? Let's go over to my machine.
What I don't understand.
So if you have let me just create a shape. It was a button or a shape? Button or shapes.
Buttons. Buttons shapes. Buttons are shapes.
That's fine. Where's the insert? Shapes. So for a shape, you can change the fill. So I think what's going on is your default color is hitting first, and it's the way the page is loading. It's happening before. It's happening before the actual CSS or the color change is being applied. And so what you could do is actually set like your default colors, or change the color before you do the conditional formatting, maybe as a way to do that. And then the conditional formatting, if that's coming in late, then that's interesting. I don't know why that would. The only thing I could think of is maybe try and change the color before you apply the conditional formatting and see if that causes the default of it to kick in. The other thing you could do is from a theme file for shapes specifically, you could set the default there, but that applies to all shapes, so be careful about that. That's the only thing I could think of there. Outside of that, you may have to open a support case. Some of it may be a latency thing, or maybe I don't know, either internet or something's just delayed. I haven't seen that personally, so. All right. Wow, we got a bunch of super chats. So Brock, thank you. Chris. So Brock said, freaking love you guys. You proven data can be indeed cool. Thank you for that, Chris. Yeah. Did you know Patrick is my favorite? I would have never questioned that, but okay. And then Brock again, man, with another super chat. Thank you. Thank you for answering the question. It makes perfect sense. Cool. All right. Well, play with it. See if that helps at all. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. All right. Where's my question list? Kendall. All right. Would it be possible to have video on decision tree, neural networks, and clustering AI? What would you want to see? So this is the thing when we've talked about this before, but when we do videos, we don't want to just do a video on a feature. Like, we need a story. Like, what's the story to tell with that? And so, like, if we've got a good story, then maybe that's something we could look at. And I don't know, Patrick, maybe we could reach out to like Justina or someone and say like, look, how would can we come up with a story to maybe highlight some of that?
And Kendall, if you have some stories or things you're trying to solve with those, send them to us. And when we talk to Justina, we can say, hey, look, somebody asked us this. How would we do this? It'd be great.
Yeah. I would imagine we'd have to use the Python visual. That Python video did pretty good.
Yeah, the Python video did. I'm all about Python. I am not. No, I am not.
Patrick will just write some script right now. Francisco, thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. Very much appreciate that. All right. Paul. The guitar case has some coins in it. Yeah. All right. Joel. After I publish my report from Power BI Desktop to its specified workspace, the report is updated in the workspace. However, when I navigate to the BI app where it is not updated. Oh, I got this.
You got that one.
I got that one. That's, yeah. I know what's going on. All right, let me pull up my, whoa, that went to the wrong monitor. Let me pull up space. Let's go to this amazing AdventureWorks workspace that Patrick was referring to earlier.
Yes,
and,
I was.
Mubarak, thank you for the super chat. Wow, thank you. Okay, so here you can see I've got my reports, and then let me go create an app, and because I removed the app, and we'll just say everyone can get it. Cool, publish. Not quite done. Chris is Patrick's favorite. Publish the app. There we go. All right. And then if we go to the app, get the app, install the app. I don't know where the app went. organization. I'm too fast. That's my problem.
Yeah, you are fast, man.
I'm
Slow
too fast.
down.
Slow down. Here we go. All right. So the thing here is that the app itself, this actually is, think of it like it's a view into the reports in the workspace. But if I edit the report in the workspace, this will not update until I republish or update the app. So let me go back to the workspace. All right. And so if I go in here, let's go into AdventureWorks. Let me edit. And I'm going to regret doing this, but I'm going to delete that. So I deleted this card. And we'll save it. If I go back to the app, you'll notice that it's still there. It's still there, right? So if I go back, all right, and now if I update the app, update it, go to the app, and then the update will now include the change that was made. So you can edit the reports in the workspace and not affect the app. So it's kind of cool in the sense that you can do those changes and not affect the production version if you're using the published app as the production version, the live version of it. So you can make those changes and they won't take effect until you update the app. So that's kind of cool. If you don't want to go with the full like deployment pipeline with dev test production, you could kind of use the workspace as your dev test and then use the app as the production experience. The only thing I will caution you on, that holds true for reports, that does not hold true for the data set. So be careful about that. So if you change the data set, it's going to affect. Yeah.
I was going to say that.
Yeah. So just be careful. So, but for reports, you can absolutely do that. So just be aware of the changes that you're making and when you're publishing. So, okay. All right. Yeah. Chris is saying use pipelines for that. Yeah. But look, if you don't have premium, like what if you've only got pro? Like that's something you can use. It's fine. It's an option, right? Lots of different tools in your tool belt. Lots of different tools. All right, Laura. How are you, Laura? I hope you're well. What's your preferred method for gathering report requirements? Well, so I think Patrick's and my preferred method differ. I just make them up. Patrick actually likes to go talk to people.
I do. And you know what, Laura? I don't like messages, and don't send me a message in Teams. Don't text me. Ask Adam. I call him on the phone. I'm probably one of the few people that will literally pick up my phone and call Adam. And so I don't like, because things can get lost in translation, especially with text and Teams and stuff like that. I think things get lost. And then in this digital world that we live in, people forget that the best form of communication is verbal. At least for Patrick, it's verbal. And so I like to talk to people, and I have OneNote open and I'm taking notes. And then what I do after that, I send it back to him and I say, hey, can you read through this and make sure that the conversation, validate what Patrick wrote, because Patrick will miss things. Adam is a great note taker. Yep. Patrick, not so great. But I take the notes, I send it back and say, hey, read this and make sure this is what you intended. Then we start working on the report.
Matthew, I'm going to do it. Hey, Matthew, can you drop a link to the book that we're doing in our book club right now?
That I wasn't invited to. You got the invite. You just ignored it. I did not. So I'm blanking on the. I'm forgetting the name of the book that we're doing. And it's not directly like the report requirements piece, but it has the flow of it. It's about like product design and things of that nature, but it gives you different ideas for going through like different techniques for getting information. So actually doing interviews, and then doing like surveys, things of that nature. So it talks about how do you gather that information. And there's different approaches there. So like shadowing someone is a great way to get some of those requirements, like actually watching, like, what do you do? Like, what do you care about? And it's probably one of the most time consuming pieces of it, because you actually have to be in front of the computer with someone and watch what they're doing. Yes, customer driven playbook.
But I think like just going through that and thinking about like even report requirements, it's a similar thing. We're gathering that information, coming up with a hypothesis, delivering the result of that. I think those could be applied as well to that. Do people do that when they're creating reports? At least from my experience, most people don't. They just throw it together and, you know, some manager somewhere is just telling them they should do X, Y, Z. And it's like, okay, but is that really the best way to do it? I don't know. Have we actually talked to the people using it? Like, what do you want to see? So.
You know what else I start doing? I'm building some stuff for work. And if I'm on with that person that's the expert on that topic or that's requesting something, I record the meeting. I press record in Teams, and I can go back and listen to even you know, from my note taking. Like I said, I'm not the best note taker, but I'm getting better at it. And I go back and watch what we talked about because there's always nuggets. You know, there's always little bits and pieces that I forget.
Nice. Yeah, and so David had asked that question if anyone used wireframing, and I saw Stewie said we use Figma. So I know like Miguel Myers talked about Figma as well for like actual design items. So he uses that for actual design, like wireframing, things of that nature. You could use PowerPoint too.
You can use PowerPoint.
Or you could just get a piece of paper and sketch it out. Go old school.
Use your whiteboard. Use your whiteboard.
Yeah. All right. Mubarak did a super chat. I'm guessing he probably meant to do this before. But thanks for resubmitting it. Why would you ever want PPU as opposed to Power BI Pro? Whew. So you get the premium features with PPU as opposed to Power BI Pro. So there are feature lists. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I'm trying to pull up the webpage that's got the.
It unlocks though, but because in addition to that, you think about organization that has a small number of people and they want to use those premium features, but they can't afford to buy a premium capacity because premium capacity, I don't even know how much it costs anymore, but there's a monthly cost of several thousands of dollars and they can't afford it. But I can use premium and take advantage of all the features that the link that Adam just put in, take advantage of all those features without making a huge investment into the premium capacity. Yep.
So from a refresh size, so PPU gives you the 48 refreshes a day as opposed to 8 for Pro or free. You get paginating reports, you get some of the AI capabilities, some advanced data flow items, get deployment pipelines, XMLA. So I mean, there's all sorts of things there that you get with PPU that you don't with Pro. So yeah. And that would be why
XMLA endpoints.
Yeah.
Big one. XMLA endpoints. Your video and XMLA endpoints. Yeah. Right.
Yep. So if you just wanted to treat your data set like an analysis services model just in the cloud, like bam, XMLA endpoint. There you go.
Yeah. There's lots.
And you could empower your other BI tools that may be in your organization with Power BI.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. Hopefully that answers your question there. All right, cool. Let's go to Christian. Any idea when is the new dependency view from data flows coming to desktop? No idea. No idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would love to see it. I would love to see the dependency view item. And then the other thing I would love to see is the folding indicators come to Power BI desktop.
Yes.
I would love that.
Yes. Yeah.
So need that. Yeah. All right, you were calling out something.
Kevin, my box. Where remember I was writing my requirements on the box.
Oh yes. Patrick in his box. Pa beater. Ooh, that is a strong statement. No one really needs XMLA endpoint. Ooh. I don't agree with that. Oh wow. Actually, so I was just in a conversation with a customer where they were talking about they have analysis services on-prem, and they were thinking about going to Azure Analysis Services, and they already have premium, like they're using a lot of premium in their organization. So I'm like, why not just use premium? And they're like, well, but we don't want the reporting capabilities. And I'm like, well, but you can just publish the model. You can just treat it like an analysis services server. You've already got it. Like, so use it. And they didn't realize that because they have other applications that they use. Like they have some legacy applications that need to connect to the XML endpoint. So they're connecting to an analysis services model. So they're outside of Power BI. And that's one of the benefits that organizations can use that for is enabling some of those other applications that aren't Power BI, Excel, doing those things. Yeah. All right.
Oh, boy, it's a good XML.
All right, Paul. Paul's got, this might be one from Marco. Oh, he's saying, Patrick, he's saying you're not good enough.
Maybe I read this one. He might be right.
It's fair. But I'm trying to display a mean for the select. I already proved to Patrick before the stream that I suck at math. But I'm trying to display a mean for the selected data on a chart using the all selected. But the chart extends back to the limits of the data table when I do. Chart
extends back to the limit of the data table.
So I think what he's does he mean like because the chart is going to have because this should all be done on the DAX side, so it has nothing to do with the visual. I didn't think that the visual would necessarily. Is it because it's only taking into account the like what's displayed? But the DAX wouldn't do that. That's weird. I'm not sure about that one. Paul, if you want to like send us an email or send us so right after this stream, I'm going to put in the community tab of the Guy in a Cube channel. I'm going to put instructions for members on how to submit pre-submitted questions. If you want to submit us something, and even if you have like an example PBIX, we can go through that for next week. And we can get that figured out. But I'm not exactly sure what you mean by the limits of the data table when you do that. So, limits of the date table. Did I read that wrong? I did read that wrong. That's my eyes. I'm sorry. Limits of the date table. It extends back to the limits of the date table. Okay, what are the limits? So we'd need to dig into that more. Off top of our head, I don't. We definitely can't answer that off top of our head. So if you do want to pre-submit it, feel free, and we can cover it next week. Happy to do that. Cool. And Bruck, thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. All right, we're getting through these. Zeba, I saw Paul commented that this was a good question. I haven't read it yet, so let's see. Is there a way to dynamically change a column header name in the matrix based on a slicer selection apart from bookmarks? Because in that case, manually changes might come with future design. I did a video. I have to find the video now. Do you remember the video?
Thank you, everyone. I was muted. Thank you.
Ah, you're muted. I wasn't even paying attention.
I'm not muted now. I'm not muted.
What was the video I did on this?
You did a dynamically change columns?
Change header, yeah.
I know there's someone internally at Microsoft. She sent me a PDF document where she did it. And I need to dig it up, but she sent me a PDF on how to do that.
This is it. There are different ways to change column headers. No, that was different. It was different. Swapping visuals is what I did. No. Oh, I don't remember the video. I know I did it. It's where I talked about. Yeah, it was where I talked. So I did one about changing the column header. I talked one about where I used personalized visuals. So I talked about buttons, and then I talked about like Casper's technique that he blogged about, where you can have the table and you can. So it was how to swap the things.
But,
yeah.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the. We're talking about the headers.
So you can't. So the header change, you can't do that. I don't think you can change the header name like that, because that's the name of the. That's based on the metadata.
Yeah.
And so there's not a way to affect that from a DAX perspective. So you'd have to swap out the columns. You'd have to have the column twice with the different header names.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think you can change the header
Yeah,
itself.
you can't change the header
remember-
itself.
I remember a while ago, I'm gonna find that PDF she sent me, and they came up with some ways to do it. It wasn't a trivial process. It was definitely very involved, but they did it. So,
All right, Lawrence, thank you for becoming a member. Much appreciated. And then Francisco, super chat with a question. What do we got?
data flows.
All right. Have you had issues connecting data flows to AWS Athena? It generates so much cache on the server that it makes it fail. We need incremental refresh. Ooh.
Oh, your video may work.
My video. I did a video where I did incremental refresh over ODBC, where it doesn't do query
There you
fold.
go.
And so it's not specific to ODBC, but it's like using native queries. And so the thing I don't know, so I've never played around with Athena. So what I don't know is, can we do native queries with that connector? So first off, do we have a native connector to Athena? That I don't know. And if we do, does it support native queries? So let me.
Amazon Athena is an interactive query surface.
Where is? Yes, here we go. So ODB native query incremental refresh video. Check out that video. So this depends on whether or not, and like I said, I don't know. Do we have an Athena connector? Did you look?
Let me see.
You didn't even look. What's up with that?
Let me see.
Well, we do. We do have an Athena connector. Does it support?
I'm gonna find out. Hang on, I'm about to connect to it.
Hang on. There is no native query option there. There's no native query on the base Athena connector. So what you could do is you could get the ODBC driver for it, and then use native query on that to use that approach. So that's an option. But now you're not using the actual Athena connector, so there's some pros and cons there. So,
Amazon Athena. I'll be doggone.
Yeah. But what's interesting is it's asking for DSN, so I don't know if it's like just going off of ODBC anyway. I don't know. That's something to look at. That would be where I would go. So, all right, cool. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're at time. Let's get one more. Jay.
Wow.
What?
We're at time.
We're at time. All right. Let's get one more because I had my little snafu in the beginning. Jay, is there a way I can color code my comments in app as answered versus new comments? I can color code my comments in app. What does in app mean? Does that mean the comments that are like in a report? Like when you go to, so here, hang on. Oop. So if we go to,
Are you talking about in the service?
so I don't know if we're talking about like comments here, like these comments. The answer there is no. Can't color code
Yeah, no,
those.
you can't.
So Chris Wagner saying nope. So Jay, I don't know if you are referring to these comments or you're referring to something else, but you said in app, comments in app, which would be this as answered versus new comments. So the answer is no. There's no real way to do that here. Now, one thing you could look at doing is if you wanted to build that into the, you could use like a Power App and do something there, and then you could control like what's going on from a Power App perspective. But in the actual comments of the app, nope.
Yeah, no.
All right, everyone, and BMAC, thank you for becoming a member. Much appreciated. All right, Patrick, any wise words of wisdoms?
Wise words. No. Have a great weekend.
We are at time.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out. Sorry about the tech issues in the beginning, but we got through it and we answered a bunch of questions. So hopefully we will definitely be back next weekend. So if you didn't get your question answered, come back next weekend and we will give it another go. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you to all the members too. Thank you for all the super chats. That was amazing. Love it. I love it. All right, everyone. We will see you on the flip side.
I don't care about love, just need your touch. Want you to be my vice, 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 vice. I'm all about your vibe, vibe, vibe. Me and you got that good, yeah, but I'm running like I'm lost in the woods, yeah. I don't really care, 'cause I just like